When I started playing golf, which now feels like an eternity ago, I was actually about 12 or 13, I was lied to. I was given bad information. I don't want you to have that same poor information. That's why I wanted to make this video. When I started, I was reading magazines, I was having golf lessons, and I was being told that I needed to work on the fundamentals to improve my golf. Grip, fundamental. Posture, how I stand, fundamental. Stance, ball position. These were the fundamentals that were going to help me get to the level I wanted to get to. I now know different. That was poor information. The reason that's poor information is because if they are fundamentals, that means that you must do those to play great golf. Has everybody who plays great golf got a perfect grip? Of course they haven't. Have they all got perfect posture? No. Stance? No. Ball position? No. Therefore, it can't be a fundamental. The true fundamentals that are going to really help you play better golf that you should be focusing are not technical. Not in this video. They are skill-based. Let me explain what I mean. Great players. Okay, and let's just use the PGA Tour as an example. What do all the great PGA Tour players do? They strike the ball well. We call that low point control. They control where their club lands relative to the ball. Name me a PGA Tour player who's keeping their scorecard, who's landing the club before the ball, who's topping it, who's fatting it. You can't, can you? Because they just don't exist. They all strike the ball well. How do you strike it well? You control your low point. Another fundamental is they all have incredible club face control. What does that do? Well, it gives you control over the golf ball. If you can control the club face, you can control the curve. How many PGA Tour players have you watched who can't control the golf ball? They're slicing it and hooking it. Those actions were the wrong way around there, but you don't. They all have fantastic control of the club face and the golf ball. And finally, speed. Name me a PGA Tour player who carries the driver 200 yards. Again, you can't. They all carry it a certain distance. So if you want to be great, you've got to strike the ball better, you've got to control the club face, and you have to be able to create enough speed to play the course. Now that's a really key term because it depends on the course you play. If you played a par 3 course, and that was the only course you ever played, you don't need as much speed. So if you want to play the game to a high level, you've got to have enough speed to reach the kind of par 4s in 2, reach the par 3s in 1. So in this video, I'm going to give you some ways that you can really develop the true fundamentals of the game, the ones that are actually going to help you play better. Sometimes changing your grip and working into a perfect posture doesn't actually improve your performance. So how do you control low point? Now we are specifically talking about irons here. Well, there are some things that great players do. At impact, great players tend to have the head pretty centered in their heels. It's never back this way, it's never over this way. They have it pretty centered. They all have their weight forward on this lead leg. Depends on the golfer, but we're looking around 75%, 80% on this lead leg. And they all have the handle forwards. Now you can go and look at any professional golfer. Look at the golf swing from face on and you will see those things present. It's those that allow us to strike the ball well. If you have got your weight back, if you have got your head back, if you've got your hands back, you can be pretty highly skilled, but you're never going to be that great at golf. And we want to be great at golf. I want you to be great at golf. So here's what you're going to do. Very simply, you're going to take a setup, and I'm going to call this, I call this a little kind of cornerstone drill. I love this drill. I get every single golfer to do this drill. You're going to take a setup. You're going to take your hips and you're going to bump them onto your lead side. So you've got weight forward. Notice how my head didn't move. And I'm going to set the hands forward. Now I'm going to make some little swings where I only swing maybe, well, I'm going to tell you I'm going to swing here. It'll probably be a little bit longer than that. And I really want to feel like I'm pushing my hips forwards, which is taking my weight forwards. Head is staying nice and centered. My hands are going to be forwards, and I want to finish my golf swing in this position. Notice the shape of my body. Notice how the arms are structured and the club head is as far away from me as it can be. Let me show you hopefully what it should look like. So we take an address, we go weight forward, hands forward. So there's my in position, there are my checkpoints. Now I'm taking a 7-iron here, and because of the nature of that swing, it's not going to be a high ball flight. It's not going to be a particularly far ball flight. That one, as you can see, went 100 yards, but it was low. The key thing, and what I'm looking for, is to develop my strike. Remember, we're looking at skills here. I need to be able to strike the ball well. That little exercise will allow you to do that. Even though that ball's not going anywhere near full speed, I can tell you that that strike was solid. It felt really good at the club face, and more importantly, I controlled my low point. Let me do that once more, and then we're going to move on to the next little exercise. Here, here, little swing, and go through. Now, if you took a load of golfers, different handicaps. Ask them to do that little exercise, and just that little exercise, I could probably hazard a guess at which were the better golfers, which were the poorer golfers, because there's a direct relationship between your ability to do that exercise and your ability to put a score together on the golf course. Do that drill, it's phenomenal. And the thing that I like about that drill, it doesn't matter who you are, what your handicap and what your faults are, it's going to be good for you because it's good for everybody. Right, next one, club face control. Now, I want you to think about your club face control through skill. Okay, again, we're not talking massively technique here. Your right palm can control the club face. Okay, think about it this way. If I place my hand on the golf club face points somewhere, my trail palm is going to pretty much mirror that club face. Okay, wherever that club face points, my trail palm is going to face. So if I wanted to take a setup, and let's say I'm aiming at that 100 marker, as I go through the golf ball, if I think about having my palm facing out to the right of that 100 marker, that's where the club face will point. If I go through the ball and I think about my palm facing more to the left of that 100 marker, that's where the club face will point. And if the club face points there, the ball will go there. That's club face control. Now, I like a little exercise called army golf. We pick a target, we've got the 100-yard marker, and you take shots with a 7-iron, half length, half speed, doesn't have to be full, and you basically try and hit the ball right, left, hence the name army golf. And you're very simply trying to see if you can control where the club face is in impact. You can see me doing it on the screen here. And all I'm really doing is I'm just delivering a different trail palm position at impact. And if I do that, I get different club face positions and I get different ball flights. Now you can make it a little bit more difficult for yourself by adding a third one, which is a straight one. So you might go right, left, straight, right, left, straight. And the beauty with this, it's non-technical. You're just tapping into your natural skill. And I'm pretty sure if we all asked you to make little swings and point your hand somewhere and point your hand somewhere, you'd be pretty good at that. There's no reason why you can't just use that with a golf club. It's obviously a little bit more difficult and it takes a bit of practice, but it's developing your skill. Great golfers have great skill. So now you can strike it well, and you have the ability to basically position that club face wherever you want it to at impact. So you can control the curve. Comes on to our final thing. Distance. Got to be able to hit the ball a fair way. Again, it does depend on the course that you're playing, as I said, but we've got to have some speed. How do you get speed? Well, again, let's make it quite natural. Take one of your golf clubs. I've got my 7-iron. Flip it around. Okay, I've got my left hand right on the hosel, trail hand here, and I want you to just stand here and I want you to continually move. So you can see my feet are moving. Okay, and I just want you to very relaxed, rotate back, rotate through, and start to swish that golf club. And really start to feel that you're putting some speed in the end of the golf club. In this case, it's obviously the grip. Again, I'm trying to make it as natural as I can. I'm not thinking about takeaway or weight shift or what my arms are doing, because the more that you think about your movements, the more likely you are to stifle your speed. Speed comes from natural flowing movements. The more we start to almost be over precise with our goal swing and think too technically, we can often reduce our speed. So it wouldn't be uncommon for me to see a golfer struggling with speed where the golf swing looks very manufactured and very kind of put together. The golfers who have great speed have great flow. You know, we know they have great tempo. So one of the things that you can do is really just start to tap into that. So again, what I would do is I would now do that little exercise, but this time with the golf club the right way around. Keep the feet moving. Notice how the golf club is nowhere near the ground. And I'm just going to start with the club maybe a foot to 2 feet in front of the ball. I'm going to go back and through. And notice how there's two things that are really happening there to help me produce speed. My arms are swinging around my body, and the club is swinging around my body like this. Notice where my chest is pointing pretty much down at the ball, but my arms, my club are swinging around my body. That's a great source of speed. But included or added to that, I can also use my body. And when we start to get speed coming from the hands, the arms and the club, and we add to that with what the body's doing, we have a really nice flowing golf swing, and we have lots of speed. Speed is key, makes the game more fun. You can hit it further than your playing partners. You get bragging rights. You can reach the par fours. And if you can have that speed with control and strike, that's a pretty good recipe for a great golfer. Okay, think about your game now when you have a poor round. It's probably going to be one of those three things that you struggle with. direction, strike, or just struggling to get the right distance. So if I was putting that into a golf swing, it's really key that I keep moving. Okay, I'm going to hit this shot and show you my routine, but you'll see that there's very, very little time where I'm static. Okay, so I would be taking a setup, I'd be placing my hands on, I'd be setting the club in, I'd be moving my feet, I'd be moving the club head, I'm waggling it, I'm always moving, because if I'm about to move my club at some 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, I need to prepare for that. So lots of movement, then when I'm ready to go, I just pull the trigger. Arms are swinging around my body, body's moving to add to that, and we get plenty of speed, but it's with control and it's with that strike. So the true fundamentals, the ones that are really going to help you play better golf, are those: strike, club face control, and speed. If you can get those, improve those, trust me, you will be a better golfer.